the ANC expected to meet with the Democratic Alliance to iron out their differences in their government of national unity. Now, the GNU parties have been at loggerheads on the recent adoption of the fiscal framework, which includes a VAT hike. Now, the DA has approached the Western Cape High Court to interdict the tax increase. Ziniko Mhlaba is tracking developments then for Ziniko. It's going to be one tussle ultimately as well today then. And the expected conversation, seemingly from the Deputy President and one then from the Secretary General, seems a little bit opposed within the ANC. And they're going to have to come to one conclusion then by the end of this meeting.
That's right, Arabile is going to be a very, very important meeting, especially when it comes to the two biggest parties within the government of national unity. Remember that the ANC and the DA were the key players when this GNU was formed. And it was formed indeed, but also now the problem or where the GNU is, it has to deal with how it manages differences on key policy matters such as the fiscal framework, which also included the hike in VAT. So that's the situation here. You'll also remember building up to that budget and that voting of the fiscal framework, there was an anticipation whether the DA, in terms of its demand, will get its way and also maybe try to frustrate the voting or ensure that the ANC and other parties do not get the necessary numbers. However, we now know that it was voted and the DA lost in that debate during that parliamentary processes. So now tables change and the ANC seems as if now has an upper hand in terms of these negotiations. Remember that it was the ANC that expressed disappointment after DA failed to vote with them and the rest of the GNU members. So coming into today's meeting, it's going to be interesting how these two parties approach this particular meeting in terms of their own arguments, their demands, but also what is it that they will be proposing as the way forward. We know that the ANC has been meeting with other political parties in terms of trying to iron out some differences and try to explain and justify why it was necessary for that VAT hike. And of course, we saw political parties within the GNU, such as the Inkatha Freedom Party, Rise, Mzansi, also engaging with the ANC and saying that they do understand the reason why those parties needed to vote within the ANC, but they remain with concerns. So these meetings are trying to iron out those concerns, try to find a common ground for all the parties with their concerns and what is it that they are proposing to be the solution. So that's the situation. So today it is the DA's day when it comes to their meeting with the ANC to engage with this particular issue. But there were some concerns, or we do understand that some sense of the ANC's attitude. If we were to take anything away from what was said by the ANC President Paul Mashatile when he was in Soweto, he was saying that he is worried but also confused in terms of how the DA deployees in government are continuing with their work. However, considering the fact that they did not vote for that fiscal framework, so on what budget are they working on? So that's the situation here. So it's going to be interesting by the end of the day to see how those engagements went between these two biggest parties within the government of national unity.